Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall-Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope that you're having an amazing day. I'm honored to be connecting in with you. In September, we have been focused on balance. How do we fall into balance? How do we find balance? How do we stay in balance? What is balance for each of us? What does that mean? We've been focusing on that this month as our theme and have different amazing experts that have been coming alongside and joining us in this inquiry and helping us explore balance and how do we find that for ourselves? What tools do we add to our toolbox to support us in balance and on our journey? Today, we have two amazing women that are leaning in to help us with this conversation, really discover falling into balance and finding our balance, our rhythm in life. And one of the things for myself I know that has helped me fall into balance is gratitude. And so I have a poem I'm going to share with us in a little bit about gratitude and seeing gratitude and presence. Those two things help me stop the swirling around me and the doing and the busyness and slow down a little bit, mindfully, purposely. And when I do that, it takes just a couple of moments to breathe. I find my stress levels go down. I'm able to see things a little bit differently. I can be more mindful and purposeful in how I'm choosing to be, what I'm saying yes to, what I'm saying no to. That slowing down, becoming present, knowing what I'm grateful for and appreciate helps me stay in balance. So I wanted us to take a moment and breathe as we connect in and listen to, and take a deep breath. So in through the nose, out through the mouth, like through a straw. Great. And as you're breathing and enjoying that beautiful oxygen, I want to share this poem. This poem has been provided by Sam Yao. He is our poet of the month, and we select one of his beautiful poems to share each month. And the poem we are sharing today is called Gratitude. If you want to find more out about Sam or enjoy his poems and other poetry, you can find it at samyaopoetry.com. Again, that's samyaopoetry.com. And this poem is titled Gratitude. Step inside your favorite cafe. Look into the eyes of a waitress who has served you for years. Ask, how are you, with a thankful smile. Notice what arises inside you. Feel the cup of latte warm in your hands. Let its delicate sweet flavor mellow your heart. Behind the barista, you see the farmers, the processors, the distributors from the four corners of the world, toiling to create the delight to start your day. How the window is eager to show you the golden sunset over the Pacific, the stair tread to rise to receive your next step as you ascend, the kettle to whistle a love song, the oven to ooze the delicious aroma of baking croissants. How the patient rocks grinded against the ocean waves for eons to turn into the finest white sands to cuddle your feet on the beach. How floating moisture, dust, and wind created the most gorgeous shape-shifting clouds to dazzle you. How the sun and the moon take turns to illuminate from the sky. Can you see? Every encounter is an exchange of love. How everything around you is alive, forever saying, I love you. Gratitude unlocks the hidden intimacy. You already have everything. So take a moment Breathe that in. And I invite you to close your eyes, putting both hands on your heart as you continue to breathe. So we take this moment to become present and hear what is around us, what is speaking up from within us, what is coming forward in your heart and your spirit. And as you still and listen, what is it you need today? What is it that will encourage you, empower you, uplift you? What do you need today, real time, to support you on your journey, to help you find your balance? Take a moment and receive that information. And take a breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth, open your eyes. Becoming fully present. Beautiful. And as you do so, I want you to take a moment and write down what was laid on your heart. When you took a moment to stop, pause, speak, and listen, what was laid on your heart, in your spirit? What is it that you need today that you are willing to receive? Unattached to how you're actually looking forward to the amazing and wonderful way this need will be met that you never saw coming. You get to be surprised and just open to receive. Beautiful. We're going to go around our virtual room and hear what was laid on our amazing guest experts' hearts as they took a moment to stop, pause, and listen. I know for mine, again, it was gratitude and really being present and appreciating those things that are speaking to me every day. That love, that beauty, that wonder that's around me all the time that sometimes I can forget to see. And when I do, and I take a moment to be present, it balances me very quickly and brings me back into my heart, mind, body, soul, and spirit, aligns me and grounds me and helps me be present and mindful in how I show up and what I do. With that, Linda, I'd love to know what was laid on your heart.
Well, thank you, Rebecca. That poem was beautiful, and it reminded me that I need to stop and notice and be curious and just pay attention to the little things in our world that, that how the light hits the leaf, how the sound of the bird, just tiny little elements that we tend to tune out, and getting curious and noticing and being grateful for that.
I love that.
Really ground me. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful. I'm breathing that in and enjoying that, noticing that curiosity and being present, because you're right, we tune it out, we can forget, we can not notice. So beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
How about you, Marlene? What was laid on your heart?
Well, I agree with Linda. That poem was gorgeous. And what was laid on my heart is what I need is just being with other like-minded women leaders who are inspiring the world from their gifts and strengths, because that really is something that inspires me to do the same. It inspires me to take up more space in the world. And by being with other women who are doing it, like you, like Linda, like the listeners tuning in today, it's just... It's a very powerful for me. So, yeah, thank you for this opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you. I love that richness of community and really connecting and holding space for each other and creating space and owning our space and lifting each other up in that and connecting absolutely is inspiring. So I love that. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
And listeners, how about you? When you took a moment to stop and pause and listen and reflect, what was laid on your heart? And with what Linda and Marlene have shared, has that added to what's speaking to your heart and spirit? As we go to our first commercial break, I want to encourage you to stay present. Really use these 2 minutes to be still, to listen, to receive what is being laid on your heart and spirit. Perhaps noticing something around you that maybe you've been tuning out. Perhaps really feeling in to that connection that we have when we tune in together and connect heart, mind, body, soul, and spirit. There's a purpose in that. There's a magic in that. There's a community in that. So enjoy those things as we take a moment to reflect, and we'll continue our conversation in just a minute.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
Explore the poetry of Sam Yao. His book of poems, Soul's Journey, is a #1 international bestseller. Sam is a contemporary poet with a unique and highly relatable poetic style to convey the essence of spiritual truths for our time. Readers will find beauty, inspiration, and healing in his words. Get his book, Soul's Journey, today on Amazon.com or visit SamYaoPoetry.com. That's Sam, Y-A-U, Poetry.com.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes, the time to pause and breathe and receive all that is speaking to your heart and to your spirit. I find sometimes I'm moving so fast, I don't listen. I don't hear what my body is telling me or my mind is telling me or my spirit's telling me. In those 2 minutes when I stop and listen, it's amazing what I hear and discover and learn and am able to integrate. So I encourage you to use those moments. We have them built in on purpose throughout the show just for you, to support you in really taking in all that serves and releasing, breathing out what no longer does. So it is my privilege and honor to introduce our amazing guest. She is a dear friend of mine. I know you're going to love her, Marlene Elizabeth. She is a positive intelligence coach, mompreneur, an international best-selling author multiple times over. She specializes in empowering women to improve confidence and performance and have that impact and the income that they desire. So really breaking through any fear and stepping into that freedom that they want and desire in their life. She's been featured on the cover of Mompreneur Buzz magazine and in multiple media outlets and summits, podcasts, and stages. She is passionate about helping you go from fear to freedom. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful and heart-centered Marlene Elizabeth to the show. Welcome!
Yay! Thank you, you, Rebecca. Thank you so much. Beautiful.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm thrilled to have you join us. Oh,
thank you.
So good. Absolutely. So good to talk with you. And it's been a while since we've had you on the show, so I'm very excited to have you back. I know our listeners always enjoy hearing from you and connecting with you. And for those who aren't familiar with you and some of the work that you do, I'd love for you to share why. Why is this work of empowering women and mompreneurs and all the work that you do around that, your book and all the publications you've been part of, why is that work personally so important to you?
You know, my mission, Rebecca, is to equip smart, creative, gifted women to unfold their innate leadership superpowers. I'm just really passionate about this. I really want them to be able to uniquely and authentically inspire their corner of the world, because I really believe that the world needs more inspiring, everyday heroes. And I feel that you're one of those. I feel Linda is, your listeners are, because we're all here on a mission to live our best lives possible. And so the work that I do is all around really helping women to tap into that everyday hero that they are and they maybe have forgotten.
Beautiful. I love that. And I'm curious, as you reflect on your journey and what has led you to feel the way that you do about this work and lean in to help people in such a powerful way, is there a moment or two that comes to your heart or mind that was kind of that pivotal moment that shifted things for you and started you on this path?
Yes, that is a great question. So, you know, when I became an entrepreneur late in life, inspired by my daughter when she was born, I struggled a lot. And every time I would show up with my gift to share with the world, you know, you have this table, imaginary table, and you bring your gift to the table. And I remember the feeling that the gift, you know, I'd show up excited, and I think, this was the gift, this was the gift. And over time, it would just slowly disappear, it would dissolve. In other words, my passion for bringing it, my desire, you know, it just kept disappearing. And I thought, okay, I guess I haven't really tapped into my true gift that I'm meant to share in the world. Until, and I'll talk more about this later as we chat in our interview, but as I began this practice of falling more into balance, specifically through, you know, certain practice I'll share later, I began to really get in touch with what my true gift is. And my gift is inspiration, inspiring others. I'm inspired by others, and I inspire others. And but what happens is this gift gets buried. It gets buried until you sometimes don't even know it's yours. And so I have really become very passionate about helping others to discover this as well and to tap into it and to realize that the superpower, you know, in terms of the women entrepreneurs, the leaders and professionals I work with, you know, this superpower is what will not only help them stay in balance, but to help them reach these beautiful goals and dreams that they have.
Beautiful.
To share with the world.
Thank you for sharing, because I feel like sometimes people don't know the journey. They just see us now. And they may be at a part where that balance or they're struggling or some of their brilliance has gotten covered up or they're having trouble finding it again. So I appreciate you sharing some of your journey in that. And you mentioned about finding your balance and kind of falling into balance. Can we talk about what we mean by balance and how do we recognize if we're out of balance and how do we recognize if we're in balance? What is that? How do we know where we are? What is that?
That's a great question. So just briefly, there's a powerful practice to stay in balance that I've just recently discovered called tea ceremony. And I learned about this because I'd received a free gift of this beautiful loose leaf tea from a wonderful female entrepreneur named Zena. She's at clubmagichour.com if you want to find her tea. But anyway, she teaches this beautiful, powerful, and healthy practice of tea ceremony, which allows us to stop and pause, much like you were having us do at the beginning of the show. And so I love this concept of tea ceremony. It's fun, it's simple, it's healthy practice, to stay in balance. But what I realized too is that the practice itself actually reminds us that we're really talking about a delicate balance. And so this delicate balance, and from the work that I do, the practice around this positive and negative energy that we show up with in the world, the poem talked about something that made me think of our magnetic, energy that we have around us. I think the part of the poem that said something about, we are love, we bring love to the world, right? And so if we show up in this magnetic force field of love, then yes, we're building this love. But if we show up in negativity, then we're spreading that too, right? So this balance, I think, is a very delicate balance. And, and your second question about how do we know when we're in it and we're not in it, I like to use the analogy of being on we like to control versus shifting to more of a surfer type mentality, right? So knowing when we are, I don't surf, I know I'm from California, but I don't surf, but I paddleboarded this summer with my daughter. And, being on the paddleboard, I knew at the beginning I was on my knees, right? I'm just kind of, okay, let me get my balance here. And then as I stood up on the paddleboard very slowly and carefully, guess what you saw me do? Shake, right? My legs were shaking. I'm going, And that's because this, the thoughts in my mind, oh my gosh, I'm going to fall, I'm going to hurt myself, oh my gosh, what am I doing, right? All the negativity. But then as I started shifting my mindset, my brain, my thoughts to, oh my gosh, I'm doing it. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Oh my gosh, how fun. Oh my gosh, my daughter's seeing me do this. My legs stopped shaking, and I started becoming more centered and balanced. So I think that kind of a long way to answer the question about how do we know, I think it's like our legs shaking versus that core, calm, centered presence of how we engage with the world.
Beautiful. I love that. And I love that you kind of do it in stages. I thought that was such a great example of, initially what we're thinking in our mind, looking at that, finding it, feeling it out, starting on our knees, and then standing straight, and then you're able to get more in that flow. I think that's such a beautiful example for us to reflect on and think on, and check in on where are we in that? Are we finding our balance? Are we feeling core, strong, peaceful, and gliding on the water, or are we needing a little bit of support? And and is that coming? I like how a lot of that comes from inside and what we're saying. So I'm curious about two things then. So one, what is positive intelligence? Because I know this is something that you tie into helping us find our balance, be in balance, and stay in balance. And what is a way that we can take a step to being more and more in balance?
Yes. So when we talk about this delicate balance, what I'm kind of picturing are the three buckets in our life, right? So whether we're talking about our performance, our happiness, health, well-being, or our relationships, right? Kind of, maintaining that delicate balance in those areas. It's really helping to teach people about this concept of mental fitness being kind of this X factor that helps us to manage that balance in our life between, let me define what mental fitness is. So mental fitness being defined as the capacity to handle life's challenges with a positive rather than a negative mindset. So that's kind of the context of the balance here. And so the idea of positive intelligence is that by building three core mental muscles, you can profoundly and sustainably improve the balance in your life, whether it's in your performance, your health and well-being, or your relationships. And this positive intelligence is basically a book that was written by Shirzad Chamine. This is all his work, and it's groundbreaking practice that's based on 4 major branches of science: neuroscience, positive psychology, cognitive psychology, and performance science. And so for me, it's been a game-changing practice, not just for me, but for many leaders, entrepreneurs, and professionals in building mental fitness muscles. And essentially, there's 3 muscles you want to look at. So one is building what's called a saboteur interceptor muscle. So these saboteur thoughts that we have, saboteur emotions we get, right? So building up your saboteur interceptor muscle. And then the second muscle is building up your sage, meaning your empathy, your curiosity, your creativity, your, purpose, and your activation, right? Mm-hmm. And then the third muscle is building your self-command. Mm. So it's bringing these three muscles that are in our brain, and it's a way to put a simple everyday vocabulary around this concept that's I know Linda knows a lot more about their neuroscience, the real deep science around how our mind works, how our brain works.
Beautiful.
So that's a little kind of introduction. Yeah.
Beautiful. No, thank you. But I like it kind of looking at those different parts of us and building that resilience, building the ability to navigate with changes and continue to find our balance and choose how we're going to be, not always what happens to us, but how we're going to show up and respond and navigate accordingly. And I think that's really, really powerful work. We are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. And as we do that, listeners, I want you to think about what Marlene has shared. I love her example of the paddleboard and the balance and really taking a moment and just checking in. And where are you finding that you are fitting within that balance and some of those different categories that you can look at within yourself and building those muscles. And we'll look forward to continuing our conversation in just a moment.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message. It's time to serve, learn, change the world. Tune in each week for The Power of Young People to Change the World, hosted by NYLC's CEO, Amy Mewers. The program is a forum for both young people and the adults who love and support them. We make connections with others through stories of change, partnership, and new perspectives of issues facing the world today. Be sure to join us every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time, or anytime on demand on the Voice America Empowerment Channel.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. That's EmpoweredConnectionsTV.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes, that opportunity to breathe and receive all that serves. Really take that information in and process it on a cellular level so it actually becomes part of you instead of on your to-do list, actually things that you are now taking in, breathing in, and are becoming part of how you think about things, how you look at things. Really give yourself time to integrate. We build those breaks in just for you. Well, we are talking with amazing experts about falling into balance. How do we do that? How do we find that? How do we maintain it? What is balance? We're talking about all of those things today. Very excited to formally introduce our next amazing guest. I know you're going to love her. Her name is Linda Shively. She was featured and has been featured in the Wall Street Journal. She's a best-selling author and award-winning speaker, a neuroscience and mindset expert, has been a multi-time guest and host on cable TV, featured in a film with Winona Ryder and Jeff Daniels, and even performed at the Rose Bowl for over 90,000 people. She has been studying the structure of the brain and mind function for over 30 years, has a psychology degree, and she's a certified master life coach and executive coach. She is a master practitioner of NLP and is passionate about helping you live and step into true joy and passion in your life. Please lean in and warmly welcome the powerful and dynamic Linda Shively to the show. Welcome.
Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you.
You're welcome. Excited to have you joining us today. And I'd love to start our conversation with a little bit of why this work is important to you. And I'd love for you to share just a little snapshot of your journey for our listeners too, that so they can get to know you a little bit and some of what has led you to the work that you're doing today.
I invite you back to the middle of December 2005. I had to make a really tough decision. I had to figure out how to escape an abusive marriage with my severely handicapped 3-year-old daughter, Jessica. And Jessica, she's a bright-eyed, happy little girl who loves the people she's around, loves reading, stickers, playing with her friends, and zooming around in her power chair. She happened to have a condition called spinal muscular atrophy, which is a progressive neuromuscular disorder, and wasn't able to sit or crawl or walk on her own, had a feeding tube, had a tube to help her breathe, yet that twinkle in her eye, that brilliance in her brain, to be able to connect to others, and animated eyes to be able to express herself and just zoom around and explore her world. My marriage, on the other hand, kept me on high alert. I never knew when he was going to explode. I thought by saying or doing the quote-unquote right things, everything would be fine, but that didn't work. And I realized that it wasn't a safe place for me. It wasn't a safe place to raise my daughter. And I needed to get out, but I didn't know how. It's like, where was I going to go? How was I going to do all of it on my own? And I finally, on a Tuesday, after I brought her home from preschool, put her down for her nap, looked at her nurse and said, okay, you pack her medical equipment, I'll pack her clothes and her toys, and as soon as she wakes up, we're going to escape. After a flurry of activity, we loaded the van and left. Exactly 2 weeks later, 2 days after Christmas, I held Jessica in my arms as she took her last breath and died. And from that moment on, I struggled. I struggled because in a heartbeat, I lost everything. Yet, I knew there had to be more. And I did a lot of work to shift myself, to be able to not only help myself, but begin to help others. That's how I started this journey.
Thank you for sharing such a tender journey with us, and I'm just giving everyone a moment to take it in. And I think it's really important that they know some of your journey and where it began for you, and how what you have discovered you're now reaching out and helping others. So thank you for sharing that journey with us, letting us know some of your background and kind of what led to the work that you do today. And some of that journey led you to discovering keys to getting into balance. So from that, where you lost everything, it set you on this journey where you discovered how to find your balance, how to move forward. Do you mind sharing a little bit of what you discovered?
Well, I discovered there was one key that we all need, that we forget we need, or we might have it but not have it present. And if it's missing, nothing seems to work in our life. And that secret resource that we need is true joy. And that true joy is not the superficial, oh, everything is wonderful, I'm just going to plaster on a smile and fake it. No, it's that deep, true joy that underlies everything. That whether something is great in your life, whether something is miserable in your life, you still can tap into that joy. And that, I have found, is the secret. And there are many things that prevent us from getting that. However, when we have it, it's amazing.
And I'd love to, and I appreciate you talking about what kind of joy you're talking about, like that deep joy. Do you mind sharing from where you were to discovering that was the key? Was there a step or something that helped you find joy again?
There were many steps to it. I wish I could say, oh, there's just a light switch and everything changes.
No magic. No. No light switch. Okay.
No light switch. Sorry, can't do that. However, there are steps on the journey, and every piece of that step, connecting with other people, reconnecting to yourself, reconnecting to what is important and the values that you have, reconnecting to meaning, and whether those are activities, whether it's the quiet time, whether it's, like I mentioned earlier, beginning to notice outside of yourself. Part of it has to be within, and part of it has to be reconnecting to the outside world. And it's a combination of that to re-identify what that joy really is, and that it's possible, and that it actually has been there all along. We just forgot it.
Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that, and that in knowing that some of it's inside, internal, some of it's outside, but it's been there all along. And I know some of the things that you talk about with your work are things called joy-stealing dragons. So there are no light switches or magic wands, but there are dragons. So do you mind sharing what is a joy-stealing dragon, and what are they?
Well, these joy-stealing dragons are fun ways to talk about sabotage. And I know Marlene Elizabeth started to talk a little bit about sabotage. And when we sabotage ourselves, we get in our own way and we can't move forward. And so I've identified 5 joy-stealing dragons. And I call them joy-stealing dragons as a playful way to talk about these. And it's not that we want to slay them or kill them. It's how to work with them, how to play with them, how to tame them so they can be integrated into our life. And the 5 that I talk about are second-guessing Sally, who wants you to second-guess every decision and go back and forth and decide and then not decide, or make a decision and then think, well, maybe I shouldn't have made that decision, which derails you. The second is No Good Nancy. And No Good Nancy wants you to believe that you were not born good enough, even though you were, but she wants you to believe you weren't, and think no matter what you do, she'll say, you can't do that, you're not good enough. Or if you succeed, she's like, you could have done it better. So just creating that negativity. Mm-hmm. The third dragon is Perfect Paula. And Perfect Paula wants everything to happen just so before anything happens. Get everything lined up, everything perfect, gotta get the schedule organized, gotta get the money saved, gotta get the plans in place before you can take any action, which means nothing happens. Then there's Judging Jenny. And Judging Jenny is a complicated dragon because she wants you to judge other people so that you feel better, and then compare yourself, and then have other people think everybody else is judging you, which gets demonstrated in social media all the time. She loves social media. It's her playground because she'll see, oh, things are amazing, or oh, things are horrible, and have a field day with it.
Yep.
And then the fifth dragon I call Overwhelmed Ophelia. And Overwhelmed Ophelia wants you to have a tremendously long to-do list, a packed schedule, and take action on things that really aren't important, so that you're constantly busy, like you have a badge of honor saying, I'm so busy, but you're not really getting things done. And so all of these dragons can derail you and take you off course if you're not careful.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. I feel that those are great names and examples, and I'm sure we can all identify with each of these beautiful dragons. Well, we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break, so I'm going to give our listeners an opportunity to just see, do any of those dragons, resonate with you, and think about some of what Linda has shared, her journey and her story. And when we come back, we're going to share how you can go deeper with both of our guests. They both have exciting opportunities for you to connect and go deeper. So make sure to stay close by, and we'll look forward to continuing our conversation in just a moment.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You need to live up to your full potential. You've heard that for years, but now there's a channel to help you get there. Introducing the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our listeners have told us that they want to be motivated, hear about success stories, and positive encouragement around the clock. And we've responded to you. The Voice America Empowerment Channel is the home of the world's top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success experts. Listen to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's here at voiceamericaempowerment.com.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at SpeakerTalentSearch.com. That's SpeakerTalentSearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
You can like and comment on the Voice America Empowerment Channel Facebook page. This is the place to get and share advice from some of the best leaders on the planet. Get started today by searching for Voice America Empowerment or click the like button under the player today.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed those 2 minutes, an opportunity to breathe and integrate all that has served you. Really take that in on a deep level. I'm very excited about what our guests have shared. I hope that you have some great takeaways of things you've added to your toolbox that are going to support you and how you're moving forward. And I know for myself, I love the dragons. Like, this is a new way to think about things. I love looking at the containers that Marlene was talking about, that reminder to be present, to really tune in and listen and see and appreciate what's going on around me and within me. Like that awareness, I think, is so powerful and important that we've talked about today. So I hope that you have a list of some great tools that you're adding to your toolbox as well. And I wanted to go around the room, and as I do so, have our guests share they have an amazing next step you can take. So if you connected with them and wanted to go deeper with some of what they were sharing, because they're just giving you a taste today, a taste to support you. They're going to share how to do that and how to take that step. So Marlene, I'd love to start with you. If you could share a tip that you would like to give our listeners and your gift and the best way for them to connect with you and go deeper.
Sure, yes. So my tip would be that whatever practice you choose to stay in balance, notice, I kind of have a checklist, notice that when you choose a gentle, simple, sense-oriented, positive approach, kind of like, that tea ceremony I was saying before, something that really helps to support this delicate balance that you're managing in your life, it really helps your brain and your mind stay engaged and motivated. And that is so important, for sustaining your practice over time and to enjoy the rewards that come from it. So that's my tip. And I would love to invite anyone who, if anything I've shared has resonated with you, I am leading a 7-week mental fitness training. It goes much deeper into some of these concepts I've shared today, and that's October 2nd to November 16th. This is a small training. It's only for 5 participants. I definitely have a very special offer for Rebecca's listeners. Just with my gratitude and appreciation, Rebecca and I have known each other a while, and she's supported this everyday mamapreneur for many, many years. So, but what I invite you to do is visit my website to learn more about the training. My website is marleneelizabeth.com. And you'll see all the details. Also, there's a free masterclass. So if you just kind of want to join a free masterclass and learn a little bit more, you can do that. And that you'll see that on my website. And the final invitation is you may also want to take a free assessment, find out what your saboteur is. And you can do that at positiveintelligence.com. There's a free assessment you can take. And you can join me on a call and we can talk about it. You can schedule a virtual coffee chat with me anytime at meetwithmarlene.com.
Beautiful. Thank you, Marlene. I appreciate it. And then Linda and listeners, I have mispronounced her last name. I had a typo on how I had it written in my notes, so I wanted to correct that. It's Linda, like lively, Shively. Is that correct, Linda? Am I doing it right? Linda?
Yes.
Okay. Lively, Shively. So, Linda Shively, thank you for helping me get that right. I appreciate it. And I'd love for you to share how people can connect with you, go deeper. And I know we had a bit of a cliffhanger in your section. You described all of those dragons. So I'd love for your tip to be, what can we do with those dragons if we discover we have one? So I'd love for you to help us out there and your gift and how we can go deeper with you.
A very quick solution for all of the dragons is to take action. Because when we're not doing anything, those dragons come up stronger. And so by actually taking an action, that is a way to start taming those dragons. Now, what I'd love to do for you is give you a gift of assessing which of the dragons is most active in your life right now. Now, I mentioned the 5 dragons. I've found everyone I've talked to has had different dragons at different times, sometimes all at once. But which one is the most active right now? And you can take a fun quiz at joystealingdragons.com. And when you take that quiz, you'll get some tips of how to address that dragon, what you can do to help tame it, and you also will get an opportunity to have a connection call with me to figure out what to do next. And I'd be happy to help you understand what, for your specific needs, you need to deal with those dragons. And that, again, is available at joystealingdragons.com. And if you'd like additional information about me, you can always reach out to me at lindashively.com. That's LINDASHI, V as in Victor, ELY.com. And there's more information about what I offer and ways to connect. So I hope that those dragons can be under control soon. So take that quiz, get some time with me, and I didn't want to leave you hanging. I wanted to give you a resource to be able to identify what to do next.
Beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate that. So we're not trapped alone with our dragons and not knowing what to do. So I appreciate that very much. And thank you for joining us today and sharing. Both you and Marlene have just added so much wonderful value to our show today and helping our listeners. And listeners, I want to thank all of you for leaning in and being part of our community, part of the people that we get to connect with. And I'm just very thankful for each and every one of you. And this show is for you. That's why we create it. That's why we do it each and every week. So I hope that you feel that love, that support, that connection, and know that we're here supporting you and cheering you on. And in that vein, I wanted to remind you of a few things. One, you are beautifully, powerfully, uniquely, and wonderfully made. And I believe for such a time as this, you are absolutely needed. And the biggest gift you can give to yourself, you can give to the world, you can give to those around you, is sharing more of who you truly are. You're needed. And by being willing to share more of the gift of who you are, shining a little bit more, sharing a little bit deeper, mindfully and purposely with others, it creates a powerful ripple effect, heart by heart, life by life. We're affecting each other, and we can do that in a positive, powerful way. So I want to encourage you to take the information that's been shared with you today, take a few minutes at the end of the show to really look at those things that perhaps you need support in navigating around or through or with, so you can bring more of you forward. Remember, Sam's beautiful poetry you can find at samyaupoetry.com to support you on your journey. We have the RHD TV network to support you with positive programming and shows. And if we can ever support you as well, we're here for you. So you can always go to our website at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com, and there's all kinds of resources there to support you on your journey, and ebooks and just different things that you can tap into in the community. And follow us on social media. And there's, in fact, a Facebook group I want to invite you to be part of. It's called Rebecca, I Said Yes. So for those of you who want to be in community, you want to be supported, look for the Facebook group, Rebecca, I Said Yes. And this is a group where we go in and we cheer each other on. We celebrate something we're stepping forward, we're stretching, we're doing. It's not just about the results. We're about that I took the step, and we're celebrating, acknowledging that. And of course, we celebrate results and all of those things and lift each other up. But taking the action is so key. I love that Linda mentioned that. So if you're looking for a community and a group that can support you in that, it's Rebecca, I Said Yes, and we'll lean in and support you. Have an amazing week, everyone. Remember to share and shine, bloom where you are planted, and shine your beautiful gifts out in the world. I look forward to talking to you next time.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.